Good morning everyone and welcome to V-Kids. It's great to be with you again on a Sunday morning, and good morning to you, Hamilton. How are you doing? Are you good? Hamilton, what have you been up to this week? You decorated your Christmas tree. Amazing. And did you have a star on top? Yeah. And Hamilton, can hedgehogs climb trees? They can. Amazing. So that must have made it a bit easier for you to get the star up there. That's so fun. Guys, have you decorated your tree yet? You could send us your pictures if you want to, and then we can see what your trees are looking like. But we have got a lot for you this morning, so we're going to get started now. It's time for the God Spot now, Hamilton, isn't it? And this week we had some great pictures from Molly and Cooper, who've been making Christmas cards to help us support the Salvation Army. So you might remember a few weeks ago, Ruth came and told us about how the Salvation Army this year are providing things for people who don't have homes, so things like sleeping bags. And with each of these things, they're going to give them a Christmas card. So we were saying that you guys could make Christmas cards for them. So if you want to do that, all the information's on the Vintage Church website, so check that out there. So thank you for sending that in, Molly and Cooper, and don't forget to send in anything that you've been doing at home, because we love to see what you guys have been up to. It's time for our story now, Hamilton, but actually today I'm not going to read us a story from the Jesus Storybook Bible. I'm going to read you some verses from my Bible. So if you've got a big Bible at home, do you want to go and grab it now, and then you can follow the story along with me. And then I'm going to go to another place altogether to tell you a little bit more about the story. So we're learning today in V-Kids about how Jesus is the light of the world. And if you remember from last week, we were talking about how we're in this time called Advent, which is when we look forward to the birth of Jesus that we celebrate at Christmas. And Jesus is that light of the world that came to earth at Christmas. And I'm just going to read us a little bit about light from the Bible. It's from Matthew 5, and I'm just going to read from verse 14. And it says, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill can't be hidden. No one lights a lamp and puts it under a basket, but rather on a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. And in the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they can see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven." So those verses are telling us about how we can be lights, and how we shouldn't be hiding our light and hiding who we are so that no one can see it and nobody can see Jesus through us. Now, I know that some of you have got this book at home. It's called Indescribable. And I'm going to read a little bit in this. So it uses one of the verses we just read that says, "You should be a light for other people. Live so that they will see the good things you do. Live so that they will praise your Father in heaven." And then it goes to tell us about the northern lights. But you know what? I think I might need to be in a little bit of a different place so that I can read this to you. You guys, I'm in space. I know that some of you love space, so I thought I'd make the effort to come up here so that I can read you a little bit from this book, Indescribable. And it's about the northern lights, which I'm sure some of you already know are also called the Aurora Borealis. And it says, "If you've ever seen the northern lights, then you know that God can put on a light show like no other. The northern lights are brightly coloured lights that shimmer and dance across the sky around areas of the North Pole. The lights are so bright that they can be seen from space, which is where I am right now. And such an amazing show could only be created by an amazing God. And the light show's chief purpose is to tell us how great and glorious our God is. But the sky isn't the only thing that God uses to tell about his greatness and glory. God shines the light of his love into our lives and makes us glow with his love for him and for others. He fills us with his light for a great purpose, to shine into the world and show other people the way to follow him. But how do we shine God's light? Well, God says in the Bible to do it this way. Don't be bitter or angry or mad. Don't shout angrily or say things that might hurt other people. Never do anything evil, but be kind and loving to each other. Forgive each other just as God forgave you in Christ. And that's from a book in the New Testament called Ephesians. When you live this way, you'll certainly light up the whole world. So let's just take a little moment of quiet and I'm going to pray. So just a moment of stillness. God, light up my life with the light of your love. Help me shine your light into the whole world. Amen. It's time for our response now. So I'm going to show us a really, really fun craft that will help us remember about being lights, Jesus being the light of the world, but also us shining his light through us as well. So it's time to do some crafts together. Hi guys, so I'm at my craft table because I want to show you how to make one of my favourite crafts of all time, which is a lighthouse. I know that we've done our lighthouse song in VKids for a few years now and it's one of our favourites, and maybe we'll be doing that one later on. But a lighthouse guides things, doesn't it? It guides boats to safety. And that's what it says in the song when we sing, that he is the peace in our troubled sea. And we're learning today about how Jesus is the light of the world. So here is what we're going to do. You might have these things at home. So you will need a red cup and a clear cup, which is going to go on the top. And if you've got one of these little battery powered candles as well, that's going to be the light that we'll put in. I've also got a piece of black paper here. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to trace a circle on my black piece of paper, like this. There we go. And I'm going to cut out this circle. Okay. Now, this circle is going to fit into the top of your clear plastic cup, and I might just put a little bit of glue just to make sure that it stays there. A little bit of glue, and then I'm going to stick that into the top there. Now, I've got some tape here which I'm going to tape around my red cup to make it look more like a lighthouse. Just like this, here we go. So I'm going to put some around the bottom. A little cut there, and then I'm going to do one more in the middle. There we go. Now our lighthouse needs some windows, so with my black paper I'm just going to draw some little square shapes and cut those out. You can see I've just drawn some little square shapes there. I'm going to cut these out, so you can use glue or tape if you have it to stick those windows on. We'll have one there, and we'll have one down there. Maybe we need one more, don't we? Let's do one more. I think I'll stick it there. Those are our windows. And now is the fun bit, so we get to take our candle and switch that on, and then put in the top of our lighthouse. And there you have your very own lighthouse to remind you that Jesus is the light of the world. Send in your pictures if you do this craft at home to vkids@vintagechurchla.com because we love, love, love to see what you guys have been up to. Bye! It is memory verse time now, so Hamilton has already gone over to his house and he's going to tell us a bit more about what our memory verse is for today. Over to you, Hamilton. Hello friends, it's memory verse time. And the verse today is from John 1 verse 5, and it says, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." And it's like Miss Fiona said, the light that we're talking about here is Jesus, who came to the darkness at Christmas as a baby and brought light to the world. So enjoy learning that verse this week. See you soon. Bye. Hamilton, it's time for our worship now, and I'm so excited because it's one of VKids' favourite songs. You might have guessed that it might be our lighthouse song, as we've been learning about light and lighthouses today. So, first of all, we need to head over to Jenny Jogsalot to make sure that we're all nice and warmed up. Over to you, Jenny. Oh, hey guys, Jenny Jogsalot here, just out in Melbourne, Australia. Just at dance rehearsals for Dancing with the Stars Australia. But yeah, speaking of stars, I see you guys have been learning about Jesus being the light of the world, and you made lighthouses. That's so amazing. So, of course, we're going to do lighthouse. Yes. So, I'm just going to remind some of you of the actions. So, it goes my lighthouse one way, and the other way, my lighthouse. Shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Amazing. But first of all, before we go into our worship, we need to make sure we're all warmed up. So I think it's time for some jogging. So we're going to jog for 10 seconds. Here we go. Everybody up. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Let's all worship together.
In my wrestling and in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. In the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are my light, my lighthouse, shining in the darkness. I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore.
we've come to the end of our V Kids for today, but it has been so much fun having you join with us, hasn't it, Hamilton? And don't forget our Christmas Eve boxes. We've got a handful of boxes left, so if you haven't signed up for your box, you can still do that at vintagechurchla.com/VKids. That's for our super fun interactive online service at 4 p.m. on Christmas Eve. And we also have all of our fun curriculum on the website as well, so check that out this week too. But until next week, it's goodbye from me and Hamilton, and we will see you very soon. Bye!